Lambeau Field. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry by Jones. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
No gain on the play. It's third down and 4.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down.
10-30. Pilot, 64, weak.
SOS. Let's go, A.
Well, box it. We didn't get that.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at the 20.
Slam. Hey, Monday.
Flacco from the gun. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Denver. 47 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
Broncos 7, Packers nothing.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Shift. Jimmy,
Inside. Flip it down.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Look at the 8.
45. Watch the slant. Check.
Hey, Mike. Hey, 88. Hey, Haywood. Jim.
I'm coming after you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer first down.
At the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
26. Hey, high 7.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Right here, right?
Inside.
45. Mike, 45. I don't even know why this team.
Rodgers now throwing again. Going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, Alpha.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. All right. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there. Check 26. Check 26. Check.
And again, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He'll return it from the 6. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Phillip Lindsay, 88 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Get off the field.
Box it, box it, box it, box it.
Take the edge. Go.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
No. 319.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Switch.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
36. Check 37. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Rodgers going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. A first-half update now from Philadelphia. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. from the gun. Flacco. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Jones. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. This is Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Green 18.
I got it. Tight end right. Tight end right.
Back north. Plant.
4 down.
Small.
Snap comes at 1. Airing it deep for Garcon. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Pierre Garcon, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Jump out.
You got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. And he's got this down to the 35. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 35.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Green 18.
Check 3. Check 3. Check 3. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Green 18.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes The other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He'll get this one to Patrick. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Flacco looks to throw, and the pressure gets to him again. Preston Smith getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Hey, take 26.
Here we go. Here we go.
Shift.
Play. 34's the mic. 34's the mic.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
18.
Watch the run. Good shot, baby.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 36.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running right, Jones. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Last
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Kill. Switch it.
We are going.
Switch.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Around the NFL, they're in the second in Philly. And the Eagles out in front early. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Flacco. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
He'll take a shot for the end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 20-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Set! We got set! Ready!
Hey, tight!
20.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Hey, pick your game up.
Hey, Charlie!
Barely got that snap off. Flacco now. And it'll be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The 17-yard line.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
You ready? 34's the mic. 34's the mic. So we got man.
Scan 300. Scan 300.
Scoot. Cut.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Fielded at about the 28. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty. Flacco. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
He's coming. Check him. Check him. It's been a long day for you.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Check back 34.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Mike 34, Mike 34. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Double dog, that's the way. 25, check 20.
Throwing again. Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
Throwing is Rodgers. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. A pass there complete to Sutton. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demaryius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Reddick with a carry. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Hurry up.
53, check 53. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
I got him. He's crashing. He's checking.
Easy.
Check.
You draw quarter.
Now Jones. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Target.
Take 30.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. Adams hauling it in from Rodgers, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
6'6", pull it high.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the safety creep.
They'll run it with Jones. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, orbit.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. I got wide.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's complete to Lewis. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 17-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
No. 319.
45.
Hey, 88.
45 the mic. 45 the mic. Right here.
Five.
45 the mic. Here we go, D. Here I come. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Watch the screen.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. Now it's caught. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
Check. Crunch. Begin. 49. Check 49. Check 49.
Here's Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the fourth. Extra point try now for Crosby. The rain making this treacherous, but the extra point is good, and with it, it'll give them the lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a third, but he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Zadarius Smith in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They're going to look to throw on fourth with Flacco. And some space here. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Now Crosby for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw, and nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. The Broncos had 15 4th down conversions last year, most in the NFL, and they're going here. They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check 43.
Get 300. Get 300.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike.
Rodgers looking to throw. Complete to Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
We got this. Check. Check.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. One last gasp for Flacco. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats